I mocked a guy at work for still living with his parents. I work at a mid-sized marketing agency, open office layout, lots of chatter, lots of opinions. There's this guy named Eric who sits near the windows. He's quiet, keeps his headphones on most of the day, and always leaves exactly at 5 quick. He's 38, maybe 39. People noticed early on that he never joined happy hour, never talked about dating, and always packed leftovers in old plastic containers. Someone eventually mentioned he still lived at home, and that became his whole identity in the office. It usually came up during coffee breaks. One morning, Ryan joked about how Eric declined another team dinner invite. He said, "Guess he has to be home before curfew." A few people laughed. I laughed too. Then I added, "Imagine being almost 40 and still living in your childhood bedroom." That got more laughs, and I felt that stupid little ego boost that comes from landing a joke. So I leaned into it. I said something about how his mom probably still did his laundry and packed his lunches. Someone else chimed in about how it was a red flag that no woman would touch. The group fed off it, and before I knew it, we were all roasting this guy who wasn't even there to defend himself. Over the next few days, the jokes continued. Anytime Eric declined plans or left on time, someone would whisper something about mommy waiting with dinner. I didn't start those jokes, but I laughed every time. I even repeated them once in a meeting sidebar, feeling clever, feeling included. Then one afternoon, I stayed late to finish a campaign report. The office was mostly empty, lights dimmed, that end-of-day silence hanging in the air. I went to the break room to grab water and heard someone on the phone, voice low and shaking. It was Eric. He was standing by the sink, back turned to me saying things like, "No, she didn't eat much today, and I'll be home soon, I promise." I froze, unsure whether to leave or announce myself. Before I could decide, he turned around and saw me. He looked embarrassed, like he'd been caught doing something private. I awkwardly said sorry and asked if everything was okay. He hesitated, then sighed like he was too tired to pretend anymore. He told me his dad had died 3 years ago suddenly. His mom never really recovered. She had early-stage dementia now, plus mobility issues from a stroke the year before. Eric moved back home to take care of her because professional care was too expensive, and his only sibling lived overseas. He worked full-time, handled her meds, cooked, cleaned, and made sure she wasn't alone at night when she got confused and scared. The reason he left work at 5 on sharp was because the nurse only stayed until 5:30. The leftovers weren't sad bachelor meals. They were what his mom could tolerate eating. He didn't go out after work because she panicked if he wasn't home by a certain time. And the reason he didn't date wasn't because he couldn't. It was because he didn't feel right bringing someone into a life that already felt so heavy. I felt sick. I remembered every joke, every laugh, every time I'd nodded along instead of shutting it down. I apologized immediately, stumbling over my words, telling him how wrong I was. He nodded politely but didn't really react. Then he said something that stuck with me. "I know what people think," he said. "I hear it sometimes. I just didn't expect it from people I work with every day." That hurt more than anything else. After that, I stopped laughing when the jokes came up. I shut them down. When Ryan made another comment, I told him to knock it off. People got uncomfortable, but I didn't care. Eric never brought it up again. But he started saying hello to me in the mornings. And eventually, we talked like normal coworkers. I learned something I should have known already. You never actually know why someone's life looks the way it does. And sometimes, the easiest punchline belongs to someone carrying the heaviest load.